Hello ladies and gentlemen, CaptainShack here, and welcome to a really different video that I've never done something like this before. While I was helping the Freelancer Tides of War devs work out some bugs, and they were kind of giving me a tour, I was asking a bunch of questions that I know you guys would be interested in. So I asked if it would be okay if I recorded this footage and edited it together and released it to the public so you guys can kind of get not only information about the mod, but you kind of get an inside look at actually developing a mod. Now during this video, they're actually bug hunting and giving me a tour at the same time. So there's crashes and whatnot, but just keep that in mind. Now I have Sizer, who's the lead developer, in the chat with me. We've also got Friendly Fire, who's their DirectX Hook gameplay programmer, shader, VFX guy. My Stack X, who's their community and testing group manager. So hope you enjoy the video. If you're interested in this game, it requires Freelancer to play. It's a mod, total conversion for it, that is going to be going live hopefully soon. They are knocking out tons of bugs, and it's getting more and more stable every day. Enjoy the video.
It used to do that.
It is definitely a pretty game, though. Let me get a couple of panning shots here. I went ahead and started recording my own audio, so just I have a reference to what we're talking about. Because it's going to record you talking, but it won't record me unless I set up like Audacity as a secondary.
Yeah.
So,
the hot ZTR class transport, I think movement speed is fine, but
it looks so good.
Wait, it's supposed to be one of the freighters, right? One of the, like, the HUD's largest freighter.
Yeah.
I think for that it turns too quickly.
All right. They can't hear me right now, but look at these effects. Look at that. Yeah, that's just so good looking. I'm looking at the gas giant again and recording some of the footage. It's just the lighting effects are so good. I'm geeking out over here.
Let's go. If you want to get out of the gravity well, like fly over at me, and then drop a waypoint. Let's see, where am I pointing? All right, drop a waypoint at EF67, like right where that crosses. And I think, yep, that'll put us right over there.
Okay, you said EF67.
Yep. Now, are you still in the grav well? Do you have the red marker in the upper right?
We do not.
In the upper right, I don't see a red marker.
Yeah.
So no.
Okay, so then once you've dropped that waypoint, just hit J and dock with the solar that spawns.
You need to be not moving, by the way.
Yeah, you need to be not moving.
Okay, so then you said hit J.
Yep.
All right, calculating. Got a little bar going across, and then
Hit F3 with the thing that comes up.
Alrighty. Docking with it, and I'm not sure what it did.
He missed it. Just barely. Do it again.
Do the whole thing again?
You're gonna have to wait for your drive to. You're gonna have to wait for your drive to.
What was the drive command again?
The super jump. I forget how to set that.
I keep forgetting as well.
The Murian and the Fire Spray are rechecked, right?
Yeah.
Someone of those are, yeah.
Alright, hold on.
Hang on, I'll set up a jump point, you dock with it, okay?
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I think we're done with the freighters then.
Solid.
Oh, there it goes.
Bam.
Very cool. Alright, so that's how you jump then. You set a waypoint.
Yeah.
And then you hit, what was it, J, while not moving.
Yep.
And then you hit F3 to dock with it, and it'll jump you after it calculates the jump point.
Yep.
Alright, just want to make sure I got it down. Very cool.
And it's at different rates and variables for the different sizes of ships. You know,
including
big capital
speeds.
ships. Yeah. Big capital ships will take a long time to charge, and the gate will be up for a long time so they can be followed.
Okay. So you can have your fleet jump in with you.
Yeah, yeah. Or if you're running away, you can be followed. You can't just get away. It's not that easy.
Okay.
Well, with the fleet anyway.
Yeah.
But for fighters, you could jump. Like, how long does it last for, say, an A-wing? Like, will it just pop away?
Well, you saw what happened.
You noticed
it went away.
5 seconds, maybe 10.
Yeah, it went away.
Okay.
You missed your window.
I was too slow.
And then you gotta wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you miss your window, you gotta recalculate and recharge.
Which is going to be pretty hard to
Alright.
do in a dogfight.
Yep.
It's damn near impossible because you need to stop moving.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay.
We don't want it to be this catch-all thing that is a magic button. It has severe limitations because we've seen other people who have done unrestricted FTL and that has had problems with balance and
People abusing it.
not even abusing it, just making it's too hard to counter. You can just run.
That makes sense.
We actually had that on the old Freeworlds for a while. Angel put that in.
Yeah, I saw he used the old simple coordinate system.
Yeah.
I kind of chuckled when they put that in because I said he's got like a month till people complain.
He had like maybe half a day.
So what do you got there? Sizer, you're in like a Republic shuttle of some kind, or?
Yeah, it's the Gamma ATR-6 Assault Shuttle. It's a step above small craft and a step below capital ships. It's relatively well armored, but it's big enough to be hit by turbo lasers. So it's sort of a gamble to fly it. It's got really heavy weaponry. It has a massive armament base, so I can carry 20 heavy rockets.
Oh wow, okay.
But it's definitely designed to be used in support of other things. It's not a soloist ship. It's designed to, you have 3 of them, and then you have fighter cover and supporting bomber wings. It's designed to be part of a heavy strike craft wave against capital ships.
I see. So now, do you kind of take that idea for all the ships? Everybody has kind of a role at design.
Yeah, if you're using a ship for the wrong thing and you fail, I'm not going to be sympathetic.
Fair enough. But like a ship your
Yeah.
size, when you lose it, what happens when you lose it?
Now, this size ship is still small enough to just be respawned. It's relatively expensive to buy it once, and to keep it armed the ammunition's expensive. The ship itself won't die. Now, everything CR-90 size and up dies permanently.
Okay.
Everything Corellian blockade runner and up.
Okay, so your smaller capital ships and above, pretty much, your big
Yeah.
ships.
Including all the freight transports as well. Those have to be constructed. But they're monumentally cheaper to build. So the average trader can afford to buy a new one every day if he loses it.
Okay.
It'll just severely dent his profits. Alright, you'll notice that as we drift further into the nebula, the distortion effects are going to ramp up.
Yeah, I saw my ship was like kind of shaking a little bit.
The shaking, actual shaking is an old Freelancer problem. We're working on fixing that, but it's what it is that Freelancer stores, and a lot of games have this problem, which is why, like, EVE Online has a different method of handling this. There's this thing called floating point error. Freelancer stores all of its location data as a float, which can only be accurate out to a certain extent. So what's happening is your ship's shaking because Freelancer doesn't exactly know right where you are. So at every frame, you're off. Your position is off by like 0.1%.
Okay, so it's kind of just figuring it out.
And so like the further from the center of the map you are, the more drastic that is, because more of your decimal places are used at the other side of the decimal point.
Ah.
So your exact precision goes down the further from center you are.
Okay.
Now we're working on fixing that. We're close, but the problem is that the method we have right now breaks all animations. Like the X-Wing, we're able to stabilize the core of the ship, but the wings still shake. Because they're separate parts of the model.
Oh, yeah, I see. Because you can actually, and I love it because we tested it last time, I can actually open up the X-Wing and do all the animations. Does that work with the shuttle too? The Imperial shuttle, does it close and open and does its thing, or?
On dock, the wings will fold.
Oh, cool.
Dock and undock, the wings fold.
I love it. That's awesome.
But yeah, let's see. So you can kick on your sublight acceleration with Shift W. We'll go further in. You'll see how disorienting the nebula can get.
All right, so just kick it on.
Yep, kick it on, fly in.
Oh yeah, I see you're like
just
blurring
noticed
out.
something.
Yep.
I just noticed something, says it that the match speed thing that you guys put
Yep.
in also works
Yep.
in cruise.
Yep.
That is nice.
Should I turn around and match speed with you?
Nope, you can just roll on out.
Oh, so you could be in cruise, and while you're cruising, you adjust the speed while remaining in cruise.
Yeah, it won't.
Oh.
And unlike original Freelancer, it won't match. It won't give you additional speed that your ship doesn't have.
Yeah.
So you can't
Okay.
change your speed in cruise. You can change your speed to cruise and it will match.
Yeah.
Can't go cruise and then go back to 80 meters or whatever it is, the speed thing. Look at that A-wing.
And if you look behind you, you'll see the ghosting of the the A-wing is the fastest ship in the game, bar the ETA-2.
Nice. Yeah, that's why I wanted to fly it. It's like, I remember the A-Wings from the old games.
But yeah, you'll see like the sun barely visible.
Yeah, let me look toward the sun. I was just looking at the planets and seeing how they're kind of faded out. But yeah, it's getting thicker and thicker. It's getting harder to see any of the things out there. Like, I barely see the planet behind us. It's getting so blurred out.
Yep.
Very cool.
And the distortion's gonna ramp up.
And I love the little lightning effects too. So the big plan though, you're gonna have player-run organizations, like planning out deep strikes with using the jump system that we just messed with, and you can go through different, full-on different sectors, right? With that system.
Yep. We'll do a system jump in a moment if you return to where we are. Hold on, let's form up a group so we can see each other further out.
Okay. Let me take control again instead of just looking around.
All right, you'll see the little red wavy icon in the upper right. Just click on that and hit yes.
Accept invite. Got it.
Yep. All right. So now we can see you. All right. So let's go to Corellia. Actually, yeah, let's go to Corellia. So
I was
actually,
thinking
no,
Kuwait.
we can't because of the range. We'll have to go over to. We'll have to take this slow. So we're in range of Horuset, I think. So go to your map and go to the galaxy mode by selecting the Triquetra icon in the upper left.
All right, so I'm looking at the universe map. Ooh, nice. Lots of
right.
sectors. Or
All right,
systems. What do you
so-
call those? Those are...
These are systems, yeah. These are star systems. All right, let's go to
We are here.
Yeah, Yavin.
Where the hell
Go to-
are we over there? Yeah, Yavin sounds like a good...
Go to Yavin and drop a waypoint at EF56. That should be outside of any grav wells.
EF 5-6. So right about here.
Yep. And then stop your ship, hit J, and then dock with the resulting calculation.
we
Grav
can't.
wells. Okay, yep. Grav well intersection. Alright, I gotta do a quick bit of... It's probably inside of Yavin Prime's grav well still.
So
I'll try and-
we need to fly out, or are you going to cheat us out?
No, I gotta, let's see. Okay, yeah. Drop a waypoint at AB78.
In this area we're at?
In Yavin.
Okay, let me do that again. So, open my map.
Because
Yours
the
actually
gas
takes a
giant...
while.
Yeah, because assault shuttle. You might be
we
able
can-
to dock with mine.
Okay, what
You
was that
first.
location again? Sorry.
Try docking with mine. It should be right in front of you. If you can dock with mine, that's great.
It's what, F3, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm close
Yep.
enough.
You may not be able to. Mist got through.
I'm trying to get closer to
Cheeky
it. It's not,
bastard
yeah,
that
it's
I
not
am.
letting me do it.
Yeah. AB78.
Alright,
It's actually a little bit north of 8, the line, so like go up to about a quarter of the way up the line. Up 7. Yeah, let's see how far away that is on the map.
AB78. I see ya.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're off, it'll only be about 50 clicks, which isn't that far.
So, alright, so I hit J,
Yep,
It'll
and then dock
calculate,
with the thing that...
and then once it's done calculating, right, then F3.
Yep, yep.
I really do like this jump system.
You're not the only one. Hey, look, NPCs.
Yep.
How hard
There
was
should be
that?
some Jedi flying around.
How hard was that to implement?
Because
Because that's nothing like the original
such as
system.
myself, yeah, no, that's all part of the hooking. That's all part of the the wonderful additions to the game engine that we have through FL Hook.
The jump effect. I love it. So cool.
There
You
he
even
is.
got coming out. Ah, that's awesome. All right, let me fly over to you guys.
That's Yavin Prime over there, and then Yavin 4, home of the Jedi in order.
Oh, yep, I see. Yavin Prime. Yavin 4. Oh, that's cool. And you
Yeah.
got NPCs in this sector too, don't you?
Yeah. There's some Jedi stuff. Flying around in ETA-2s.
Now the Jedi, are they like a sub-faction in the game? Like an actual...
Yeah.
How does that work with
You'll
the
see
different
their-
factions?
They all have... We use the vanilla faction reputation system, where the NPCs are just there. We plan on implementing a dynamic system for capital ships, where a military faction will be able to also construct ships and deploy them as NPCs, not just assign them to players. And those NPCs will be persistent until they're destroyed.
Oh, nice. So you'll actually be able to have NPCs even when you're not on patrolling areas?
Yeah. By default, there won't be any capital ship patrols unless you spawn them yourself.
Oh, okay. So, wow. The only way you're going
They'll
to have
just be
capitals.
fighter. Yeah. We kind of want the players to feel like they're fully in control of the empire they're part of. Because they are running the military of their faction, and I want them to feel like they're actually running the military of the faction.
Oh, that's cool. Now that's what I can't wait, because I want to get the TheXpGamers Community, you know, my channel community. We've been talking about it on the forums that we just launched. That's the reason why I launched them, is so we can do these game nights. And this is the type of deal I want to jump into, where we can actually make a difference. Ooh, there's the Republic. There you are. I see you over there. Fly by.
Alright. Let's see.
Hello.
Let's do another hop. Let's go south to Kashyyyk.
The Galactic Tour. Now, I should be able to come up next to you and jump with you, right?
Yes.
Alright, so
my hole, as soon as
If
it
you're
opens,
quick
you
enough.
should be able to follow if you're quick enough.
Alright, I'm right up next to you, so I'm on it.
We'll go to a place with... Alright, Kashyyyk has an asteroid field, so we're gonna have some fun.
Actually,
Excellent.
I think if you target Caesar and press F4, you should be able to follow him in.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll do that, but
I clicked
maybe.
it. I guess we can try it.
Alright. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to test if it'll crash.
Yeah. Calculating 34 seconds on the calculation.
Oh,
gonna
I see you
just to be
calculating
safe.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
because he's a bigger ship, it takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
I mean,
also
ours get done
more
in like
range
2
than you guys.
seconds.
I see. So you actually, you went into each ship and actually made them. Is it based on like
Yeah.
the engine? Can you equip different types of equipment like engines, or is it?
No, it's per ship. Their engines are hardwired, but different ships have different roles. Like for example, all of the light bombers also have what is called scout drives, which they function in different ways. Once we get jumped through, all right, go.
It did it.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, cool. That works then. Awesome. All right, so
Another
there's 2 types of
checklist.
hyperdrives. Standard hyperdrives, which have a number assigned to them based on their range, and then if you look at the map, you'll see how the lines all connect them. Those are established trade lanes. Those established trade lanes. Nice
Whoops.
job. So now we know that spawns us all in the same spot.
Yes,
Actually,
that
no, it
doesn't
spawns
really
you
work.
in the same spot.
I am going to get something else.
All right, so while I'm going over that real quick, you can take a quick look around. We'll head towards an asteroid belt. This one actually has a really cool effect in it. These are lava asteroids. So I'll go plot us a course towards the nearest trade lane, and then hit that shit.
Okay. Now.
All right, so
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
go ahead.
I had a question about the skybox real quick, and it might be just because I alt tabbed the skybox. Some bits of it seem like a kind of a blurred green.
Yeah, this is the core. I have to replace these. Something's weird about the way Freelancer renders certain things. I'm gonna have a higher fidelity skybox.
Okay. I was just wondering if it was something that I had did on my end, or.
No.
Okay.
It's a problem I've had for a while. It's just, like I said, I haven't had time for any of the art.
Oh crap! It like rammed you instead of lining up with you. I hit F4 again. I guess you need to be ready
Yeah.
to line up and not like aiming at someone when you hit the button.
Yeah, it's not used to the speeds that you move at.
I
Not
see.
to mention that the AI for autopilot sucks,
Ah,
Yeah.
to be honest.
you better just do it yourself. So I'm sorry, as you were saying with the hyperdrives. I was really...
All right, so if you open up the universe map, you'll notice that all the things are connected, right? So a standard hyperdrive can only travel along those paths. So a class 4 hyperdrive would be able to jump 4 nodes down that path, right?
Okay.
So that's the standard drives. Whereas scout drives can jump in a linear fashion. You just draw a radial line out from where you are, and you can jump in any fashion in any direction. However,
okay. So you don't need a line then. You could just jump from point A to point B.
Yes. The difference with the scout drives is that they have a rating on them, -1 to negative whatever. The further down that number is, the further you can go without the problems of scout drives coming in. And the problems of scout drives is that they are inaccurate. So you may end up if you jump really far with a scout drive outside of your rating, you may end up where you want to be, you may end up in another system, or you may end up in unknown space.
Oh no. So I don't know if you want to give away anything for the unknown space, but I assume that's a bad thing. That's a really bad thing.
We've recently developed the ability to dynamically spawn solar systems.
Oh.
So
okay.
if you misjump, it'll dump you into a randomized solar system, unknown, uncharted, no way to get home except for trying to jump back with your scout drive. And there may or may not be Eldritch Horrors out there.
Oh no. Really, really bad things. Excellent.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna set up another.
You guys need
jump.
to execute the following command, actually, if you at least unless you want to do the real tour.
Go ahead and hit it.
Super jump $1. Yeah.
I'm hitting F3. It's not docking though, or is it trying to dock? Whoop, there it goes. It made it.
Yeah.
It just
Where
took it
you
a
guys
second to get
jumping
through there.
We're all good.
Looks like the Kashyyyk system. Maybe.
Yep. Yep.
Excellent.
Peek? All right.
Home of the Wookiees.
I see where you guys are. I'm just jumping in behind you, I think. This works anyway.
I love the music.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. Just checking. Okay.
All right.
So you see that green hexagon up there in front of us? We're gonna fly at that.
Whoa.
I'm jumping to you guys.
Hi, big traitor thing.
Yeah. Watch yourself. They like to do that.
He's just sitting there ramming speed. Ah.
They love trying
Check
to
him
run
out.
people over. Because they spawn on the same plane as the player.
Oh. Fair enough. All right, let me
Where'd you guys-
start heading the right way.
Oh, you guys jumped off to that way. All right, hang on.
Yeah.
There you are.
I have no idea where that way is.
Down and to your right, you'll see Trandosha, which is home of the Trandoshans, and it's the Bounty Hunter Guild's capital in the game.
Down and to the right. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Down and to your right. That's
There it is.
Trandosha.
Nice. I love the planetary model. That's great. Now, can you land at all these planets, or is it just some of them?
Populated planets you can. So if you click on Trandosha, you'll see that the third icon on the top of your screen turns blue.
Oh, yeah.
That means you can dock there.
Ah, okay.
And we actually implemented a new system. If you remember in Vanilla Freelancer, to dock on a planet, you'd have to fly up to a ring or a buoy and hit dock on it. You can now enter the atmosphere of a planet and it will automatically dock you.
Oh, cool.
Unless you're an NPC, in which case you apparently just crash into it.
Yes, if you're an NPC, you just die. But
Oh, boy.
but as a player, you can just approach a planet now from any angle and you'll start to land. Once you cross the threshold of getting past a certain distance.
Which brings me, I can't actually see any of the planets in Bastion.
Huh. It's the second person who said that. I wonder why. Screen it for me. Just hit print screen.
can do.
It saves it to a new directory as PNGs, not friggin' bumps.
Yay, bug hunting. How is the development going? Getting all the bug hunting down? You think you're getting it knocked all out and have it ready soon
yeah.
for release for the beta, or?
Yeah, what's being done right now, what's left to be done, is I have to go through and make sure the NPC populations are where they need to be. Right now we have our info card writers finishing up all the fluff, but that's not holding back release. It's just something that's going on, and crushing the last few of the major bugs, which I was intending to do today, but it looks like we fixed a lot of those in my regular during the month quashing. So
Awesome.
we're not that far off. Like,
Yeah, I'm so
super
excited for
close.
this. How many ships do you guys actually have implemented into the game?
I have a number. Let me find that number.
Wow, Republic cruiser under my belly. Hi.
Howdy.
Just sneaking up on me, man.
Well, the idea was jumping in behind you, but you guys were moving too fast.
Yes, I have
I just have
here
to show
in
this
the
one off.
image.
Yeah, I gotta fly around the Republic.
Yeah.
Here.
113.
I'll spill it to the full stop. Hang on. Oh, hey, look. Binary pirates.
We got pirates. Oh, they're attacking us.
Kill the pirates.
Woohoo!
Yep.
Be interesting.
113 ships.
113
113?
ships, like flyable ships.
Yep.
Wow, that's gonna be interesting. Very fun times with 4 factions. That's a lot. I'm on this guy. Man, I haven't played Freelancer in so long. I gotta relearn how I'm doing here. How do you launch missiles?
Q. You gotta lock them on too. You'll hear the tick 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 ding, and it'll say locked in the lower left.
I don't think I actually have any.
Yeah.
What's a Dimec HM6? I have 2 of
Concussion
those.
missile.
Not equipped.
Those are the concussion missile launchers. Yes, eat turbo laser. I'm totally using the wrong ship for fighting fighters, but occasionally you get a scatter hit.
Now, what was the shortcut for match speed?
M.
Okay, where should I upload the
User
pictures?
moved out of your channel.
Wherever
Come here,
you
you fucker.
feel like you can use it, like, you know, Google Drive or whatever. I
Okay.
don't care.
He's so
Whatever you
fast,
feel
I'm
like
so
using.
slow
I have no
firing.
preference.
Now, you set up a system where it would like alternate which ones you fire, or
Cap lock.
that's better. Now I can kind of guide it a bit better. Now, originally, Freelancer didn't actually have. Wow, that's a lot of lasers. Didn't have lock-on systems, right? Like you made those.
Yes.
Well, missiles were able to lock on, but this is a whole other
No,
system.
not with a lock-on system though. They tracked, but they
just
didn't
they just
actually.
auto-track, right?
Yeah.
I'm completely useless in a dogfight right now. Come here. I don't know if I've hit him yet or not.
Oh,
There we go.
sniped.
Uh-oh, my
I
screen
love
went
it. See,
black.
this thing.
I got a fatal 3D error. Alright, I'm loading back in right now. Helping with the bug hunt. I'm glad I can help with the bug hunt. Oh yeah, it's all good. Alright, I am back in.
Oh, now the planets have appeared.
If this other Z Starfighter
I
dies,
just
am I
made
gonna
the
crash again?
screenshots and then
You might.
Maybe.
I don't know. It may or may not, because if it was the death fuse, it might cause it. It might not.
I see.
Okay.
He's still there.
I'm still here. Oh, he's dead. Yeah. So it looks like we're
yeah.
good to go.
All right. So it was probably part of the fuse. Okay. Let's head on towards that green hexagon of things that will make me happy. Alright, let's actually drop a waypoint and see how far we are from the edge of the asteroid belt. How much further? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit that green hexagon. That's an in-system pre-calculated jump. And once you start seeing asteroids, hit escape, it'll drop you out.
Okay.
We're actually really, really close.
Yeah, or it's only about 30 clicks from the jump to where the asteroid field begins. So you shouldn't have to be in that lane for more than a few seconds.
Now, do I have to dock with it, or will it automatically jump me into it?
You have to dock with it. You have to dock with it.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna follow you in then. Go in with you.
Yeah, you guys should hit cruise.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that my slow boaty ship runs out of energy because it's a little broken at the moment, and that drops me down to 1 speed.
The nice. The Corvette has the same issue, but they're just not as fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to fix a few of the ship's energy draw.
And Bastion have popped in now. I can see them now after alt-tabbing back in.
All right, so that's something worth
I'm gonna
knowing.
upload the pictures though.
Do me a favor and write down your system specs as well on the forum somewhere, so that I know what we're working with. It might be, you know, the drivers you're using. I don't know.
Okay.
This runs better on NVIDIA cards.
Liar.
I'm about to jump now, I think. I told the dock, so it's approaching it pretty quick.
Yeah, you're way faster than me.
And I hit escape as soon as I see asteroids, so let's see what we got.
Yep.
Woohoo! Nope, see asteroids. I don't know if I'm in them. Ah, maybe I am. Yes, I am. Ah! I see like the occasional one. I'm getting closer to him. Wow, look at the field.
Oh, holy crap.
Yeah, there's an exclusion here for the trade lane. It was, you know, it's been cleared by millennia of use, but then we can go actually into the field. Let's get you back into the group.
Yeah, let me come your
Look at
way.
that.
Wow, this field is cool looking. Flip around. Have you jumped yet?
I'm just slow boating it into the field now.
Okay. I'm kind of playing around in it.
Accept this invitation again so we can see each other.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Flying around some of the rocks.
Yep.
Some people can, yes. Oh dear, here come more pirates.
Uh-oh.
Pirates.
Come here, pirates.
Oh no. One.
X-Wing TIE Starfighter U. Is what his name
TIE
is.
Wing, X-TIE Ugly, that's what that is.
Ah.
If you hit the switch to target button, you'll be able to see the profile.
Oh,
It's
what's the button?
in your radar list. It's
Oh
that,
shit!
that the button that looks like a ship. Next to the little button that looks like a list of text.
Oh, cool. It gives you like a wire mesh view of it.
Yep. And that's actually important for capital warfare as a bomber because it will also show the subsystems there that you can select.
Oh, and so you can actually target the subsystems like what, engines, weapons, things like that?
Yes.
Nice. I see in the Republic ship up there all them turbo lasers going off.
Yep. Yep.
I'm on him. Come here.
Hey look, we got company.
Cherokee Death Seeds, they're a bitch.
Yeah, but B-Wing, there's a B-Wing squadron that joined
Yep.
us. Like it.
Nice. So the NPCs will actually actively jump in and help you out with pirates and stuff?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I see them. There's little two of them chasing this guy down.
Oh, we've got more B-Wings incoming.
Yeah. Pirates will show up
Yikes.
at the fringes of the mid-rim systems. Like Kashyyyk is somewhat lawless. It has, you know, the bounty hunter haven, so you're gonna see some pirates around here, and there is a pirate base buried in the asteroid field. But like a system like Coruscant, you're never ever going to see a pirate spawn.
Okay. Because it's just, yeah, too lawful.
It's the capital of the New Republic. The New Republic Navy's headquarters is there. You're never ever gonna see a pirate.
I am on this guy, but he's so fast.
Yeah, Cherokes are annoying.
If I had some missiles, because I've gotten lock on him a couple of times. Like, I got a lock right now, but don't have any. You'd be dead.
Pulse your thruster to catch up to tab.
Just hit tab?
Yeah, tab is your, see the percentage next to on the left hand side of your lower readout? That's your thruster capacity. thrusters will push your speed up.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Now that'll close the gap nice and fast. Thank you.
In an interceptor, yes, it will.
Oof.
I was getting tore up now.
I love landing the. Yeah, I love landing random hats with this thing because it has a massive gun dispersion. The shots have a really high random incidence of angle, like a shotgun.
There he goes. Eat it, pirate. So you're just shotgunning him pretty much when he passes you?
Yeah, yeah, and hopefully something hits.
That's a cool ship. I like that. And I like that it's not, an end-all. You have to have support.
Yeah. And against a player in a starfighter, I won't hit them. Against an NPC, I have a chance. But against a well-skilled player, I will never hit them.
Nope. Luckily for him, everybody who starts out playing this will not be skilled because they completely changed the flight model.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
But it won't take too long.
I
People will put some hours into this, and they'll be gunning down in no time.
Yeah. I can't wait to have Sushi back. He's better than I am, even after changing the flight model, still.
So every once in a while...
Sushi's coming back? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, every once in a while I see a rock fly by my screen. Can they impact me? Can they hit you?
They can impact you. They won't do damage. Those are dynamic rocks. The dynamic rocks are what you mine. Now, in this particular part of the belt, they're more ambience. But in mineable belts, you'll see them moving around at a much slower velocity, and you shoot them, and they explode, and they drop a mineral. Now, that's the basic vanilla version. We're planning on down the road implementing a more advanced version. It's been done in a few other Freelancer mods where you fly up to like a big static asteroid and you press a button and a mining laser happens and it drops it into your cargo hold, similar to Eve.
Right.
So we'll probably do something like that.
Eve mining.
That won't be too hard to implement.
Now, so the big deal though is you're making all this money, you're mining all these minerals because that's how you build the big capital ships, right? For your faction.
Exactly.
So if you want a Star Destroyer and you're part of the Empire, you're going to have to get your people out there and actually get the resources so you can build this monster.
Yep.
Very cool.
I say quad.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. We should beam, not jump.
Okay. Where are we beaming to?
Planet Quad base.
Planet Quad? Alright. You beam Shack, or am I beaming Shack?
Beam him. I'm going to go get a different ship because this thing's power problems are making me sad.
I'm beaming you now.
Alrighty.
To base. No, beam on planet.
My trusty X-Wing.
Yes.
Call me biased, but
Yeah,
I
I
totally didn't design the entire balance of the game around the X-Wing.
Oh, what?
It was just the ship that I got right first.
Okay, but the game is balanced.
Yeah.
You got some ties in there, and
the whole game.
what all ties did you run?
Don't ask him about the balance, please.
No?
He'll do it again.
He knows I'll just go spewing for hours about how awesome it is.
I love it. I love hearing about it. Please, go on.
One of the choices I had to make was that we had
Go
to
ahead
give
and
all the
undock,
TIE
by the
fighter
way.
shields.
Okay. I'm sorry, what was that with the shields?
We had to give all the TIE fighter shields, even the classic TIE. I'm willing to change that if the community says they want the TIE fighter to be weaker than the other ships, because not having regenerating shields puts you at such a disadvantage.
Well, with the carrier system and respawning and all, you could just say it's a really, really cheap ship.
That is something we've considered, but again, that kind of balance is really hard to get right.
Yeah.
Where it's much easier to make a ship stand up as long as it should. Again, if the community at large says we don't care, we won't bitch about it at all, even if it is weaker, I'll do it. And then if they bitch about it, I'll say, no. I have it here in writing. You said you wouldn't bitch.
Sounds fair.
But I'm not going to release it with ties without shields. The squat drive yards, which I'm totally going to redo someday because I hate it. This is like the third version I've done.
Let me start zooming out here and get a look at... Wow. Talk about scale. It goes all the way around the planet, as it should be. Very cool. I love that I can zoom out this far. This is gonna be great for fleet fights too.
Yep.
You get the strategic viewpoint of it.
you
Shift
know,
space.
Yeah.
What's that?
Hit shift space.
Shift space?
Yep.
Okay, shift space. Whoa! Okay.
Now you
This
have
is
the
awesome.
strategic viewpoint of it.
And you can pan around the whole system with that. Except that it only works in your sensor range, of course.
I mean,
I see.
I might be wrong, but I feel like my smugness at this moment's a little justified.
Oh man, this is cool.
Only
So
now?
what- This is gonna. Oh wow, this is really cool because you can command your entire fleet. You can give your people targets and primaries, and can you actually grab stuff like target people from here?
Yes, you can target yourself. There is a hook function that we don't have right now, but it is already in like other things. It's from the other basic Freelancer hook that you can mark targets for people in your group. So we will be adding that in.
Also, Dynamic Shadows, look at
wow.
the planet called Bador, or Bador, or whatever his name is.
All right, let me switch back to normal view here. Which one was it?
The brown one.
Bador? Not that brown one. What's this one? Bador. There it is.
If you look at the
Okay.
upper section of that planet, you'd see a massive shadow from KDY.
If you're close enough.
Oh.
Well, I'm
Oh, okay.
pretty much at KDY and I can still see it, so you should be
Yeah.
able to see it.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. The
shadow
You're
at
talking
the
about the
top.
ring around the planet, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you can see it right there on the top.
Yep. You can see the ring
Right
cast
here.
onto Quat proper itself. If you look to the left side.
Let me get flipped around. I gotta get these controls down, especially once this comes out. Oh yeah, and you get the sun lighting up the atmosphere around it.
Yep.
That's so cool. So what kind of things, like a player who's just getting in, what kind of things can he expect to be doing in the game?
Hold on.
Like what are your favorite
I'm about to crash.
moments?
There we go. Okay.
No. That's my job. I'm the one that crashes
I
here.
was
don't
typing in Skype and then all of a sudden... Alright, yeah.
Oh look, a shipyard.
Yeah. It's like, oh god. So yeah, and yes, missed in a moment, just answering the question. Stuff. So they'll be able to right away jump into escort, dogfighting, mining, early trade, because the civilian players start with YT series ships, which are your basic, tramp freighters. The YTs will actually even be useful to endgame traders because they're fast, they're small. They have a decent armament, and their cargo hold is large for their scale. So it'll be a safe way to move high-value things. So the YT series is sort of that. It's you start the game with it and you end the game with it kind of ship.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
the civilian players will have access to that right away. It just depends on how good you are and how experienced you are with it.
Now, so you start off as a civilian player, and you could continue to play as a civilian.
Yeah.
But the game really comes into its own when you choose a faction, right?
Right.
Or is it?
Right. I mean, civilian players. There've always been in the history of Freeworlds. There have always been the people that just want to not be affiliated and have their freighter and just fly across the space lanes. And we want to support that and actually provide them some goals, which is why we've made the freighters all constructible. And I do plan on making some surplus warships available as well for purchase. I haven't figured that one out yet. That's like a thing down the road, but I do want that to happen.
Oh, interesting. That would kind of open it up to players their own factions,
Yeah.
maybe inside the universe.
It would be all wicked restricted because we have had problems with that in the past, but it would be wicked restrictive. It would be
Okay.
the idea would be that like a small player collective could get a surplus stripped down Nebula B to escort their convoy against pirate raids, but they'd never be able to stand up against a military raid.
That makes no sense. I mean, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Completely. Especially if... What's the player cap you're talking? Because that would be... I could see that being a problem if a lot of people were
Yeah.
playing civilian. You're taking up slots for people who could be fighting the war.
Right. I think we're starting at the vanilla default of 128. I think we can push it further than that, but it gets wicked unstable and hard to manage.
Okay. Cool. That's actually really good, because Freelancer has always had It was built, a long time ago, so you're having those that kind of netcode issues, or
yeah, pretty much. And on top of that, the Freelancer server process is single-threaded.
Oh, yeah. I just figured out that if you hold Control L, you can do these like flyby cams, so I'm just having a blast with this now. Very cool. Alright, so the new player comes in, he does a civilian thing for a while, makes a little money, then he decides to join one of the factions, and there's 4 factions. What were the 4 factions?
You have the New Republic, the Empire, Corellia, and the Hutts.
And they're all against each other, or they're broken up into like...
The 2 major conflicts is the New Republic and the Empire are fighting each other, and in the absence of the New Republic's policing, the Hutts have actually unified and started trying to expand their own criminal empire. And Corellia, kind of pissed off that the New Republic has kind of abandoned the galaxy's trade lanes, has stood alone and decided that they're going to start policing against the Hutts. So the New Republic and the Corellia are kind of friends, but it's a little chilly. The Hutts are the Hutts. They're just, crime, greed, and drugs. And the Empire and the New Republic are at each other's throats.
Excellent. Okay. So you join one of those groups. Say I join the Rebel Alliance. Now, what can I expect from a Rebel Alliance player? Like, what will my gameplay be like? And it's very open, so I get to choose kind of what I want to do. I don't have to do combat, right?
Right. Right away in the New Republic, you can choose to ally yourself with, say, New Republic intelligence, which will have the ability to sort of create other civilian characters to go try and get intel on the other side. So there will be the game of spy versus spy going on. I will allow that. Just you can't go further and like actually break the rules and create alternate accounts and stuff like that. But within the character metagame with civilian characters, you'll be able to try and create spy characters. You'll be able to join fighter squadrons. You'll be able to get yourself assigned a light capital ship. Early game, it's going to be harder to get into capital ships because they're so expensive, but once both sides get their war machines rolling, I expect that people interested in capitals will be able to get themselves in the cheap light capitals pretty easily.
Okay, cool.
And then beyond that, there's also going to be the mining gameplay and the trading. And that's pretty much where everything lies. I mean, that's what Freelancer is. It's a space sim trader.
So it'd totally be possible for me to take on my community. I could get enough people on to buy a carrier, because I know you guys had some type of carrier system where they could undock from my ship.
Yep. Can't show that to you today because we're having a few problems with it, but it does work.
Okay. We'd be able to jump into an enemy area, deploy fighters, do combat operations in there, hit points to take over areas for our side to actually affect the war in, overall.
Yep. A smaller group's going to be less likely to affect the strategic points, actually reap in points at a high rate. But what you'll be able to do more effectively with carrier ops is to jump into their resourcing areas and kill their miners and merchants.
Okay, now how does that affect the enemy faction when we do that?
If you stop the flow of money and materials, you stop the construction of capitals.
Nice.
And
all right, so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Not just construction either. Maintenance also costs a lot, and if you start losing the money that you get from trading, which is your biggest income, at some point you're just not going to be able to maintain your fleets, or you're going to start to get some attrition, and then your fleet is going to decay, and that's bad.
By the way, CaptainShack, this is my my programming god, Friendly Fire.
Hi, Friendly Fire. How's it going, man?
Pretty good yourself.
It's doing good. It's doing good. I'm actually I'm recording a little bit of this. We're kind of just, as you can hear, we're talking about all the good stuff. I'm super excited to jump in this mod. I love some Star Wars. So the fact that it's like an open sandbox with beautiful models and a real full-on fight, like you guys have a war going on run by players. That's what I want to load up. Now, you said a small group of players. What would you consider a small group of players wouldn't be able to affect? Like 3 or 4, or are we talking about like 20?
A single carrier strike is a carrier and a squadron of 6 fighters. That's a small group of players.
Okay. But we could totally jump in and wreak havoc on their supply lanes. And
Yeah.
Now, how will they know, as players on the Empire side, how would they know that we're doing horrible, horrible things to their supply lanes?
All right, so among other things, we'll have, as you can look at in the TeamSpeak, we have quite a detailed layout here. You're actually sitting in where the Freeworlds Tides of War TeamSpeak chatter is going to live. So that, basically, you'll want to be on the TeamSpeak all the time if you're playing. You want to be in there, or the... in-game, there's the hashtag system. Friendly Fire, is that still on? Is that still there?
Yep, it's not finished yet, but it's supposed to be working.
What's the join command again?
I really have to dig it up because it's been way too long, but there's a post on the forums.
Yeah, I have to find the forum thread. Give me 1 second and I'm going to show you something really cool.
Okay, cool.
It's just a really complicated system.
No worries, no worries.
So I have to...
I'm having fun just flying around, and I'm doing all these pan shots looking at some of these ships.
It was in the demo boards.
Pretty neat.
It was like how to use the hashtag system without... Yeah, here it is. Hashtags 101, how to use groups without permanent injuries. Alright, so...
That wasn't really a joke either.
I think a few of the Empire guys just got brain damage from it.
I would agree. Then again, they are Empire, so you never know.
Very Republic-friendly side here.
It was back
Developers,
during
huh?
the demo, and I told you the story. We all flew in the New Republic during the demo days. And it was unfortunate that the Empire tended to recruit the kids who came along, Herder, the ISD is awesome. Whereas almost all the people who flew with the New Republic were all of my friends from an earlier mod called Freelancer Combat Evolved, which is pretty much, it's Newtonian physics in Freelancer with high strategy and realistic, somewhat realistic hard sci-fi stylings. It was based on Halo.
It's basically
Freeworlds vets.
It's Armo to Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's essentially what happened. Call of Duty ended up being in the Empire, Arma ended up being in the New Republic, and you can guess what happened.
And they got stomped.
All the time.
Fun days.
Oh, man.
You know,
I see.
in those terms, I actually missed the demo.
So it's not in our current hook for Friendly Fire. It was in the demo hook, which we don't have.
Right, so it just probably just deactivated. I think it might have been causing some issues with another mod we added. But it's definitely like you can still use the forum post as a guideline because it's going to be the same thing.
Let me give you a link. At the bottom of TeamSpeak is a link that describes the hashtag system. How that's going to work is that normal Freelancer has your system text, your group text, private green text to other players, and a couple other miscellaneous maintenance channels. What this allows us to do is to type in registration channels. So you can type in like /HR HiCom, and so now anytime you type in at the beginning of your text hashtag HiCom and then your message, it'll only send to people within that channel, and it'll show up in whatever color you assign it to. That you can through commands you can change the color of the text.
Okay.
So
in some ways it's a bit like Twitter, where you can just like follow certain hashtags and then you can just post to multiple hashtags and it's going to appear in all of the people who follow those hashtags.
So
all right.
So say I want
Hashtag IRC-ish.
So say I want to have the encrypted New Republic High Command channel. Now HiCom is wicked obvious. So for us we'd be hashtag 5RC or something like that, whatever the code of the month is. And then anyone who knows that and is following that gets the HiCom messages. And then anyone who's registered to hashtag fleet gets any of the messages that's designed to be listened to by the capital pilots. Anyone, or say there was one of the things that we ran was Lancer Squadron, our premier K-Wing bomber squadron. Lancer Squadron is best squadron, hoorah, was hashtag Lancer. And anytime you typed in hashtag Lancer, anyone who followed that would get the Lancer messages.
Okay, so for the example that I was using, you've got a Republic strike team deep down, downrange, taking out enemy targets, and our Imperial scout notices him.
Yep.
He would just go into the right command chat and say, "Holy crap, we've got this going on."
Or the people who are dying. You'd think they'd be smart enough to squeal. I mean, you'd hope.
You would think. You would think.
Again, they are Imperials.
Excellent. Now, taking out the NPC, I see a lot of NPC ships flying around.
Yeah.
Will that affect everything as well?
I believe we do have it set up so that NPC kills will have an effect on the overall shift of influence. Not as much as killing players. Like,
Okay.
I don't know what the ratio is going to be, but I would suspect something like 20-1.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because NPCs
so,
just
but it
keep-
does.
yeah.
I mean, for the people who can't play on those peak hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm shooting up your ship here, just looking at the lighting effects. So.
Don't worry about it.
The wonderful thing about our community so far, from what we can tell, is that we have a rather large spread of time zones. So I get the feeling that our player cap won't be as much of a hindrance as one would think, because we'll have player activity spread across all of the time zones.
Oh,
The
that's
one hit
fantastic
we're going
news.
to take
That's
is
great.
the Australians, because the fiber across the ocean is terrible.
Yeah. Understandable.
But we should have players from most time zones. I think we're going to have a few hours of downtime across the Asiatic areas. But other than that,
But for the bulk of your players, there's going to be people around,
Yeah.
more than likely.
Yeah.
And then Saturdays, weekends are going to be nuts, I bet.
yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to institute a slot reservation system so that the admins can get in.
Right on. At least until you can expand on the,
Yeah.
the amount of players you can get in.
Yeah. That's definitely something
Which is
we're
understandable.
we're looking into. We have some ideas, some things that are happening, but they're largely pipe dreams and things that may happen years from now, but Freelancer will be long dead by then. Unfortunately.
Well, there's always, what's his name? Chris Roberts' next iteration. You've got Star Citizen coming
Yeah.
out. Maybe that'll be something in your guys' future. Maybe port over to that at
The
some point.
problems is that, from what we can tell from what he said about modability, total conversions won't really be an option.
Really?
Yeah. He's been really cagey about his wording, and it sounds like we'll only be able to do like ship packs and stuff.
Oh, well, that's too bad. I hope that's not the case. I really do, because
'Cause-
that's really going to hinder what a lot of
Yeah.
people are thinking is going to be coming out of Star Citizen.
Because again, what he's saying is, it sounds like, from my interpretation, that client servers, like non-main servers, will be more like skirmish servers, not universe servers.
I see.
So perhaps like no permanence and no systems to explore, more like deathmatch servers, which let's just say isn't exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, no, totally understand. See, now what the things that I've been reading, it's been a little while since I've read up on what he has on planned for servers. Maybe you guys know information I don't. They were talking about you wouldn't have access to the newest builds and the updates for the main persistent server,
Yeah.
but you would have the initial world space that they come up with that would be persistent, but not kept as up to date, which is understandable as the persistent universe, because that'll constantly being changed and updated based on players' events. I'm actually following a wing of Y-Wings right now, which looks really cool.
It depends entirely on how detailed and how powerful they make the personal servers. I mean, the vanilla Freelancer personal server is an unprecedented amount of power. It's essentially an MMO in your pocket. And it hasn't been done before, and it hasn't been done since. But you've had a persistent small-scale MMO like that players could run, that didn't rely on corporate servers. And whether or not we get something as comparatively powerful out of Star Citizen is yet to be seen. I'd love for that to happen. I remain skeptical.
I'm also a little bit doubtful that
Understandable.
we're going to have such an easy time to mod everything, because Freelancer was not designed to be particularly efficient with its asset loading, so most of it was relatively easy to alter and crack into and modify. Most of the stuff is just ionized, and then there's a few custom formats which took like perhaps a few months to revert, but we still managed to. Whereas now this is going to be using CryEngine, which is very much locked down if they don't want us to mod it. and it's often done so just so that it's more efficient, but it also means that it's a lot less moddable. So it's really hard to tell right now just how much there's going to be, and it feels sometimes that they're just doing it on purpose, perhaps because they don't even know themselves. So I guess it's a wait and see, but we're not like we're not betting on Star Citizen being our next obvious jump.
Okay, understandable. I was just kind of curious what your guys' thoughts were, because you're, obviously you're probably a little closer to the topic than I am. Thinking about what you guys may want to do way later in the future, that game's still got some time to come out, and it totally makes sense. They have so little done compared to what they have planned. It's, who knows what they'll end up coming out with, or what he'll actually complete, and how it'll all work together.
No, I mean, I'm just gonna say it now. Both Friendly Fire and I called that he was going to have to delay the dogfight module. I mean,
yeah, he really hadn't shown anything, and he's like December, really?
Yeah, I mean, we understand the reason why he would say he wants to give us a dogfight module, but we knew right away that he has too much work to do to be working on something that is gonna dead end, because the dogfight module is an additional piece of software that you won't be able to pull back in. It's a fork, it's a branch.
Right.
It's really easy.
There I go.
It's really easy. It's calamari.
See, and I type calamari.
It's calamari.
Just so you guys know, when I'm landing here, the ground is black.
Yeah, it's... yeah.
I will say nothing.
What it is that the planet side renderer isn't hooked into our DX9, so certain things don't work.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So I should undock?
Yeah, you should undock.
One more thing on the list of things to do, huh?
Yeah. It's pretty low, because planet side stuff traditionally in Freelancer isn't really... It's planet side and base side pretties. You spend most of your time in space. And so we're going to focus
That's where
on
all the
space.
gameplay is.
Yeah.
The real gameplay.
If Freelancer had included walking around on bases, we would have done something about it.
Understandable.
It's like, I'd love to keep this all up to one level of quality, but again, I don't have time. I'd love to be able to just art all over the planets, but...
It doesn't help that the planets use a completely different system from everything else in the game.
That too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, THN files. Buckets of fun.
There's no visual editor, but it's just about impossible not to use one, because everything is encoded into paths, which require a bunch of numerical values to work, and finding these out by hand is just ridiculously time-consuming. So most people don't bother, which is why just about no mod out there has different base side from the default. It's just so much time that even the reskins usually just... They change the models, but all of the animations are going to be the exact same thing.
Or just giant map paintings that someone purchased. Oh.
I'm here now.
Alright, go ahead and fly at me. I'm heading towards the shipyard.
Alrighty. I'm gonna flip around.
I was
Turn on
thinking
the
we should
engines.
show off some more calamari ships. To go with it.
That works. Shaq, I believe last time he was on flew the Liberty.
Ooh,
Yeah, I did.
Liberty. Pretty.
If you look off to the other side, you'll see the binary stars of DACA A and DACA B. Both of them interact properly.
Daka daka daka.
DACA DACA.
Like an orc.
Let me zoom out and take a look at them. Oh, look at that.
Just be careful when you get close to the planet, you will automatically redock yourself and have to start again.
Oh no.
Missed, you're a little close.
Yeah, I know, I was on my way out. So that's what that was last time I glitched.
Yeah.
I kept wondering, how did I end up at this planet? I was in space. No,
Which also means planet diving is no longer a thing.
At least for dockable planets.
Yeah.
What was planet diving? Just getting out of a fight by fly to a planet?
Amongst other things.
Yeah, if you had some damage to your ship but didn't feel like paying for the repairs, because Freelancer you'd just be able to respawn with no consequences.
I just bumped off a ship.
You just dive into the planet. Free repairs.
In
I
Freeworlds,
just dived into the back of that transport.
in Freeworlds, let's just say that this is not just as much advisable.
Yeah. This is the Mon Calamari shipyards.
I
This
prefer
was the
these
first
shipyards.
superstructure that I built for Freeworlds, and this is one of my favorites.
Wow. This looks great. The music is really fitting right now. I've got it turned down, but I can just barely hear it because, of course, YouTube's got the whole Content ID system. The Content ID system, which is a real pain right now.
Yeah.
But oh wow, this looks really good, and it's got all those Star Wars themes playing in the background. Right now, really subtly for me, but this is really fitting because I just did a spotlight on the Star Wars Galaxies emulator.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is they've come a long way. So lots of Star Wars stuff going on right now. Very cool. Now, so the shipyards here, totally you're dockable.
Yep.
How can the player interact with them?
They're dockable. That's about it.
Right on.
I mean, I think this one's set up that can be shot, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I see a health bar.
Yeah.
I mean, later on they're gonna have more interactivity. I mean, they might, assuming we get there and we have the time to do our giant to-do list, which is probably longer than the circumference of the Earth. Among other things, we had planned to make it so that when you construct the ship, it actually appears physically on the server for the time it's constructed, so that it could be shot down during construction.
Players in capital ships would also be able to pull up to the docking slips, and when they log off, the ships would stay there docked in space. So you wouldn't be able to just make a capital ship
cool.
disappear. It would always you'd have a certain amount of protected slips around a shipyard or a capital ship mooring facility.
Whoops.
Dot game. Dot
I know. It's late. It's 4 a.m. Leave me alone.
Well, yeah. you'd be
Now,
able to pull up.
how does that work in combat with people logging out?
God damn it.
Right now, I think they just log out. That's been a problem in Freelancer. Friendly Fires, do you have any handles for that?
There's going to be penalties for doing that when we have the entire death penalty system implemented. Among other things, you're probably going to respawn with most of your shield knocked out, which makes it a pretty bad idea to log out in the first place. Probably some other penalties, maybe a speed penalty or something like that. This is something that we're probably going to have to balance once we release to see how the impacts we do handle. But there's definitely gonna be a downside to it. Maybe we just beam you to the closest space and just remove some cash for the towing or something like that.
Nice. Some way of balancing it out. Makes sense.
Yeah, we just don't want people to be able to F1 out willy-nilly and just come back a few days later because there was a ship that was just about to kill them. You should be able to log out just like that to avoid death. So there's also a lot of mods which just when you log out, your ship stays into space for a certain period of time, even though you no longer are connected to the server. So logging out in space is a real danger because your ship is basically a sitting duck for 2 minutes.
Okay. Cool. Very cool.
Which I could get behind.
I'm following some A-Wings again over the shipyard. Very cool. Now, to get involved with the community, you've got a forum set up. You said you had a TeamSpeak set up. I remember, I think we discussed you had a website where you could actually see how the battles are going, how the world is currently, what's held by who. Is that going to be a thing?
Yep. Yep,
Very
that's a
cool.
thing.
So what kind of functionality is that going to have exactly? How does that play into the whole battle for the universe?
As far as I know, the interfaces that it will be publicly facing will show you where recent death spikes have been and what is shifting this week over the next, what stations have just flipped, what stations are gonna flip, so you know where you need to go without having to go directly to your faction command. Of course, faction command will also have their own priorities, so they may choose to have abandoned a base. So even though it says this base is about to be abandoned, faction command might say we need to let that be abandoned.
That's not priority and make the judgment call. Okay, so that's probably kind of the fun part, though, especially if you're part of that command structure discussing, well, where do we need to apply our resources to actually have the effect we're looking for?
Yeah.
Now, do some sectors have more benefit than others?
Yeah, on a strategic level, and if we get the rest of the campaign structure online on a meta level. Strategic level, it's systems with shipyards, systems with asteroid belts that can be mined are very crucial.
Also, some systems that have like special resources, like Bacta.
Yeah. That'll give you.
So, what kind of resources do they give you? Like, as an example, like Bacta's the Bacta planet with the healing things, right?
Yeah. And
I feel like I don't know enough of the expanded universe, and I only remember Bacta from Knights of the Republic.
Yeah, if you own Thyfera, which is the planet that Bacta comes from, if you own Thyfera, your faction might get a passive bonus to your death penalty. So instead of paying 15%, you pay 10%.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That kind of thing. Certain planets might give passive benefits to your faction.
And then obviously there's the more primary resources for building your ships, because since ships are also going to take resources and not just money, having access to the resources themselves lets you get them for real cheap. So you also benefit there by having to do less cost, not have to go through enemy or neutral systems, not have to deal with neutral traders who would be able to go through those systems. It just simplifies the entire chain of supplies, which makes those assets really valuable.
Yep.
Okay. Very cool.
And of course, there's the Force user system, which we probably won't have implemented right away, but it's still on the books as being a primary goal. Force users will have passive modifiers on the area they're in, and would be able to establish enclaves on planets with the permission of the owners of the planets. Those enclaves would provide other passive bonuses to the planet. So a Sith enclave would increase the rate at which influence is gained, whereas a Jedi enclave would do the opposite. It would so if you want to hold a system, it's usually best to have the Jedi peacemakers sitting there, because the rate at which someone will be able to take it away from you would get cut down. Whereas if you're trying to take a system, you might want to encourage the Sith to set up shop there, because things become more unstable and chaotic, so you can change influence faster.
Oh, okay. And players will actually be commanding like the Sith and the Jedi orders.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. That is really neat. And they have their own ships.
Yep.
Because I know they do it in the lore. I was just wondering if they did it in the game itself.
Yeah.
And they even have their own metagame, because the metagame for the Sith and the Jedi is completely separate from the rest, because we decided to make them our official role-playing factions. So basically, in order to be a Sith or a Jedi, you need to want to roleplay and to roleplay properly, but it meshes into these gigantic stories that we call arcs, which lets you participate in something that's not only just role-playing on the server, but which also affects the server in the end.
Oh, wow. So I'm just watching you two dogfight right now, or kind of fly around shooting each other in a, what is that, a TIE Interceptor and an X-Wing?
Yeah, he's out turning me because TIE Interceptor. But
yeah, that's what they do. It looks great with the shipyard in the background, which I gotta admit, that model looks pretty damn good. I'll be honest, when I saw this was being done in Freelancer, Freelancer, I was like, wow, it's so old. What can they pull off? And I watched a couple of your videos. I was like, okay, wow, you guys kind of just gutted this game, didn't you? Because it looks so good. And there's no good Star Wars games right now.
Well, towards the end, to be honest, we just decided to go for a more like scorched earth approach, where we just say, this doesn't work like we want, okay, let's just do it again. Whereas initially we tried to use the old systems as best as we could, but we just realized that it just wasn't worth our time. So this is what actually led us, it opened a lot of possibilities with how we could like refresh the game, which is how we got the new crew system, the new planets, the new stars, the new star spheres, the new, pretty much every single thing we've had to modify in one way or another. And towards the end we just decided, okay, let's just get rid of all of the baggage that would slow us down and just do it the way we wanted, which gives us the ultimate flexibility while also looking a lot more modern.
And it does look really, really good. Try and chase this tie down. Oh, oh, oh! God, I don't know if I hit you or not. I think I did.
You killed him.
Sweet.
Boiled
Awesome.
again.
Argued with Darth Vader. Fly through the shipyard here. Well, guys, thank you for letting me, beta this a little bit. Oh, God, I think I hit something. Thank you for baiting this. Oh, I died. I was killed by an NPC. Oh, no, it was... Click respawn. Yeah, but thank you for having me and showing me around and kind of going through the systems with me. If you guys want to know more about Freeworlds Tides of War, the link is in the description below. There's a beta that'll be starting soon, and you can go ahead and sign up on the forums to get ready for the actual release. It looks really cool. Now, you're going to need a copy of Freelancer, excuse me, which is pretty easy to get. Head over onto Amazon. You can pick up an old copy relatively cheap, and they'll ship out to you pretty quickly. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to this channel, and as always, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.